Sup nerds, you guys want to see a dead body? Today we have Ragna OTK versus Yellow Hybrid. Chris won the die roll, so he's going first. Hatches and plays a TK to set me to 4. Adds a Lotmon to hand and recovers. I hatch Makoromon. Evo into Agumon. Evo into Greymon for 2. And then play my memory setter. And then he goes 3 from his memory setter. And right here, Chris is going to play his Lotmon to add the top card of his security stack to draw a card. I think he did this because he needed to see more pieces in his hand, but I think this is kind of a death wish in this matchup, willingly reducing your security by 1. He plays a TK to set me to 4, adds a Rise to hand, recovers. So now he's at 4 security. I think either way, it doesn't ultimately matter too much because this is such a bad matchup for Yellow Hybrid. But I definitely wouldn't do that myself if I were him. So I promote Evo into Metal, Evo into Alterous Mode, that pops Lotmon. Evo into Metal X, plus 3k plus 1 security. Swing, draw from Koro, plus 2k from Agu, plus 2k from Hero. So he has 3 checks for 15k. And we dodge all removal options, which is pretty cool. And I think about playing a rookie, but I'm just going to Evo into Warg to give him an additional 3k on Chris's turn and force him to out him. Because obviously if you can't out him immediately, he just loses the game. This forces a Lonky from him, or playing a Tamer and then I guess Sunrise Bustering. No, that wouldn't even be enough. Yeah, he has to have a Lonky in his hand immediately or he just loses. Assuming that his last card in security isn't a removal option. So he evos a Kazi on top of TK. Yeah, Yellow Hybrid is just way too slow for this this matchup. He pops Yellow Min Boost, go to 3. Over here reading cards. Proud of him. Evos into the 1 of Jet and recovers. And right here was a miscalculation on Chris's part. Because at the beginning of the turn we had 6 or fewer security total between the two of us, but the Jet recovered him, so now we have 7, and he is contemplating Evo into a Kintorosmon, assuming that it keeps turn, but it does not. And right here I remind him that he recovered off the Jet, and he gets sad. So it passes turn, he does not get the memory back from Kintoros. I hatch Makoro, Evo into Agu. And right here I'm just digging for Flamedramon. Because if I see Flamedramon, I can just kill him without risking the security check. But unfortunately, I don't see it. So I swing Raid plus 2k from Hero, plus 2k from Agu, 2 checks. Sadly, the second check was a Lonky. So it puts my War Greymon on top of my security stack, sadly. And right here, I actually thought Lonky was the same as Chaos Degradation, where it's top or bottom. You just don't get to trash. But yeah, Lonky's actually just top of security stack. The more you know. So now I just set up a stack. Like, he's used his only card that recovers in his deck that I'm aware of, unless he's playing Reinforcing Memory Boost. So like, I just set up a stack to Evo into a Warg on my next turn. And there's nothing he can do about it. Because even if he Venus Mons, I have an extra security attack Greymon underneath that stack. So I can still kill him. So Evo's into Kuda, Evo's into Zephyr. And I ask him why is he not scooping. Alright, and we go to game 2. Yeah, this is just an awful matchup for Yellow Hybrid. Like, this is arguably one of the best matchups for Ragna OTK because it takes them a little too long to get their offensive pressure going. And it requires you to kind of play into the matchup as well, if you're not too versed in playing against Yellow Hybrid. If you have the ability to chunk a deck like Yellow Hybrid early, like I just did, and put them on their back foot for the rest of the game, it's really good for you. And when I say chunk, I mean leave them at 1 security. Don't just like hit them once or twice, and only do that if your deck has the ability to close out that game. Like because if you leave them at 1 or 2 security and you can't close the game out for whatever reason, they're just gonna abuse you with all the memory they get from all their tamers. All right, so Chris makes me go first for game 2, which is smart. I actually want to see a 6 card, so going second is ideal for Ragna OTK. So I hatch Evo into Agu, play Hero, set him to 4. He hatches Koro, Evo's into Agu himself. Plays Kuda, gets his Scourge on. Gets max value here. Sadly, the hybrids are not vaccine traits, they're variables. slash hybrids. So Kudamon cannot add those, but I think that's the only cards. I think those are the only cards in the deck that Kudamon cannot add. Evo's into Geo. Takes a peek at his security. And I can tell right here that he has options in his security. So he either did that hesitation because he has more than one choice in his security, or he's trying to memorize his security. I assume he most likely has more than one choice, because this early in the game trying to memorize your security is not really super useful in my opinion. So I Evo into Great X for 2, and then Evo into Metal to give him 3. Now I'm set up to promote my stack, Evo into Warg, and go to town. So Chris promotes his Agumon, and he's thinking out loud whether or not he actually wants to promote it here, because he's just operating under the assumption I have Warg in my hand at all times, which is smart. I play 4 of them. So he decides not to promote, but if he's worried about me having Raid War Greymon, he absolutely should not leave anything unsuspended on his field. So I think it was a mistake not to swing with the Geo before playing the TK and Kari here, because that's just food for Warg. So Evo into Metal X, plus 3k plus 1 security. Evo into Warg, plus 3k reboot. Swing Raid, plus 2k from Hero, plus 2k from Agu. Draw from Koro. I'm a billion DP for 2 checks. Swing again. A billion DP for 2 more checks. And since he has so many Tamers and the ability to proc them on his next turn, I don't even play a rookie, because he would just kill it for free, and that's less food for my Dorbic in my hand, so I just pass. So he draws, promotes, and between his Agu and all his all his Tamers, he goes to 8 memory. Right here, he also has to have a Lonky in his hand, or assume his last card in security is a Lonky again, or he just loses. A Venus or an Odin's would actually keep me from being able to check his security. But yeah, he does have the Lonky. Goes to 0 and puts my Warg on top of my security stack. Then plays another Cody to give me my 3, and I just hatch. Evo into Agu. Evo into Greymon, go to 1. Evo into Great X. And Evo into Metal and give him 2 memory. And now I'm set up to just do it all over again. And then he hatches, and then between all of his Tamers and his Agumon, he goes back to 8. But I'm at no risk of dying here. Like, he does not have enough memory or Tamers in play to kill me from 6 security. He Evos into Kazimon, go to 6. And I don't have a War Greymon him. Oh, no, yeah, I do. Okay. I was about to say, I thought I did. Yeah, I have a War Greymon, so I'm ready to go to town on him next turn. And I also have Flamedramon in my hand already, and Dorbic and Ragna, so, like, I have game. The only thing that would keep him from dying on his next turn is Venusmon specifically. And that would just buy him 1 singular turn. Just because Venusmon would keep me from being able to promote and Ragna, because Ragna wouldn't get his Wind Digivolving effect. But I could just risk it and swing into security for 1 check and then Ragna for game if I wanted to. He swings security, checks the War Greymon that he knew was there, and dies. Eva's into Rise for 4. Or Rise X for 4. Activates his effect, plays a TK. Adds a Lopmon to hand and recovers. Evo's a Lopmon and raising. Looks like he has the 1-of in his hand again this game. I think he drew that off of one of those Evos. Or he would have recovered, obviously. Then he Odin's Breath to minus my field by 1 security check, but sadly that does nothing if I have a starter deck Greymon in my stack, because I still have a security check. So Evo into Alterous Mode. Evo into Warg for 3. And then play Dorbic. Digicrossing, I have Flame in hand, and DNA into Ragna. Bang bang game. Yeah, this is basically an unwinnable matchup for Yellow Hybrid, but Chris put up a fight. But I appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're interested in this kind of content. Want to come back for more. But until next time, see ya.